Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is Track Talkers Season 2.
Episode 5.
Oh, my goodness. What a weekend it was. Are you kidding me?
Bro, are you kidding me?
This was the best weekend of Supercross that I've seen in a long time. Like,
Best slash worst slash
that's what I mean.
Supercross drama to the hilt.
Like, Supercross drama to the hilt. And tonight, we have a very special guest. I'm very excited about this because, you know, Ty, one of the things that I thought the show was lacking is, you know, we're not journalists. You know, we're writers. We give our best take on everything that we see, and that's our profession, and that's what we do. And I think we do a really good job of it. But, you know, something I wanted to implement in the show was get somebody that actually is a professional journalist to, you know, bring the dirt, or no pun intended. Bring
the dirt to the track.
Yeah, bring whatever. Yeah, bringing the dirt to the track talkers. And bring in the things that kind of, you know, we aren't pro at. We're not the guys to write an article every weekend or, you know, talk to these guys, and we don't have years and years of relationship. I mean, we do a little bit, but just not in that way.
Well, and to put it simply put, we have holes in our program that we want to get filled.
Yes.
And we want to bring more professionalism to the show.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
I love it. Let's get right into it. 16 years.
Woo!
Doing journalism in Supercross. Swap Moto, been on Swap Moto, been on Trans World, doing his own thing now, which is absolutely amazing. And we're excited to have him part of the show. Everybody welcome Michael Antonovich. What's happening, bro?
How are we, boys? Thank you for having me on to this. I'm super excited because, like, I've been listening to the show, and it's cool. It's exactly like how my little brother and I would talk about the races. So it's tight.
Exactly. And then give us a little rundown on what you got going on too with your program.
Yeah. So a couple months ago, stopped working with Swap Moto Live after 6 years of launching it with Don and everybody over there.
Yep.
Just because I want to try to tell some new stories that are out there, because there is so much stuff that we see at the track every weekend. And like you guys said, I've been at it for 16 years, and it's really exciting to see everything that goes on. And I've just wanted, like, showcase what else is happening, because, like, everybody's talking about the race results. We're going to talk about the race results tonight, but I got other stuff that I also want to see and share and let people know how exciting it is to be at the track every weekend.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I got course heading in the works right now. Websites like in its finishing stages. I've been saying that for a month, but my social stuff's picking up.
Cool.
I've been scoring some big interviews with guys like Pit Buyer that you know, runs KTM's motorsport division,
which we're going to get into for sure.
Did a shadow with John Tillman of the track flag crew this weekend to see how that stuff actually operates.
Yep.
Got some stuff working out with the Dirtworks guys to showcase, like, how they prep everything for each round. So just, you know, good storytelling that I'm excited to share that I haven't done in the last 6 years since, you know, really the magazine went away. Like, Swap Moto Live was sick because I was the race report beat guy, and I'm still going to be that. But for right now, I just get to go do some other stuff that I've thought was interesting that I didn't really have time for.
Yeah, totally. Well, Anton, we are so excited to have you, bro. So excited to have you part of the program. And, you know, just talking about the guys at KTM and the whole, you know, KTM group, let's get right into it. I mean, the sickest fucking thing of the weekend, I'm going to try to stop cussing is so much, but I had to say that for the start. Malcolm Stewart gets his first win. Dude, this, like, I felt like, Ty, that I didn't foresee a win after the first couple rounds for Malcolm this year because of the heavy hitters. And Malcolm straight up won with no asterisk by his name. I mean, he was straight up faster than Chase Sexton.
He was faster than every single person on that track without a doubt.
Yeah, like, it's
without a doubt. Like,
and then two, what happened in the whoops too? My guy can all of a sudden just skip whoops like a magician?
Bro,
like the hardest ones of the year, right?
From what I heard, I mean, Big James Stewart, not Big James, his dad, was just like, dog, you got to go double, triple, click up a gear, and just make sure you know what your last name says, and you freaking rip it through the whoops.
I mean, that's what it looked like, bro. And it, to me, I know I always emphasize the whoops, But dude, the guy who looks the most comfortable in the whoops each and every weekend is usually one of the fastest guys.
And
period.
One point I want to make right now is I think what really what a lot of people talked about on the broadcast was momentum.
Yeah.
But with the whoops and then the sand section right after, those two sections are momentum based as far as riding, and he carried his speed through the whoops, then he railed the outside and carried his speed through the sand, and you could tell when they cut to Chase was struggling in the whoops, then trying to get his speed up in the bull corner, and then trying to get up more speed in the sand, and he was just struggling, and he was just getting sucked in by Malcolm Stewart, and Malcolm Stewart threw the perfect race. Like, I don't want to tell you, I know for a fact, I've never even watched Malcolm practice, but I know for a fact that's how he rides in the test track and in the off season. Yeah. And it's just I'm just so happy to see him execute what he can normally do on a practice track on a race.
Yeah, but like, Anton, I want to bring you in on this too, but like, what's the X factor of the weekend? You know, like, we haven't seen that speed from Malcolm. So like, I'm thinking, okay, was that the hometown crowd that brought it out of him? Was it the more technical style track that kind of maybe suited his style and the Husqvarna a little bit? Because the track sucked this weekend. And I'm not saying that's Dirtworks' fault at all. I'm just saying it was very tight. You know, it definitely wasn't Glendale, you know, where we're just wide open. It's like this track was, it was very hard.
Dude, it was like an arena cross track.
Yes.
I mean, after Glendale, it was like an arena cross track. And I mean, that's something that I got listed to talk to you guys about, not to take away from Malcolm's thing, because it is the story of the weekend. And honestly, something I've never been that excited at the race, because Malcolm's my guy. Like, I have been all over the world with Malcolm. Malcolm was there with me on one of the worst days of my life. And to be there with Malcolm on one of the best days of his life, I'll never forget that for the rest of mine, you know. But to go from that track, like, Glendale was a full-blown supercross. That was guys pushing it to the next level with big quads and high-speed stuff and everything that we saw with the, you know, the split turns and everything like that on really good temperature-controlled, climate-controlled, in the shade all weekend dirt at Glendale. And then you get to Tampa, and it's completely different. It is one of the smaller arenas on the series. You know, the dirt looks bitchin', but it's got a real hard pack to it. And then although we're within an hour and a half of most of the most popular training facilities in Florida, it's nothing like the dirt that's there, as far as I know. Like, it's completely different for everybody else. Yeah. So it just throws such a variable to it. Well, for everything through the weekend. For Malcolm, like, I'm watching the 450 main event right now. Yeah. 8th place start. He just starts chipping away and does everything that he needs to do. I think the general chaos of the weekend, everything that played out, definitely, you know, brought into it. Jet not being there, Hunter not being there. Not that those things would or would not make it happen, because Malcolm was just, that was his day. That was his flow state. He hit everything he needed. Like, that was the Malcolm that we hear about being at the test track forever. And stuff that he said at the press conference of him going to the line and just letting it all go and just riding to ride, because this is everything that he's ever worked for, was just to ride in front of your hometown crowd. You know, that's his home race, and all his friends and family are there, and just, if you get to enjoy this moment, because he said that his dad told him, you better ride for fun or you better quit. Yeah. That's what he said. The best example of it?
Yeah. I mean, that's what he said in the press conference, Ty, is like, his dad said, you straight up need to quit racing completely, or you need to start,
because it's making all of us fight.
Fun.
Yeah. I mean, it's good advice though, especially.
No shit.
I mean, but like, I think a lot of people get lost in the sauce, you know, because they, you know, it's like, you know, you race professionally and everybody's like, oh, I'm doing my job, blah, blah, blah. I got to do my job. I got to, you know, this is my job. But you also lose the fact of, like, you can have fun and still be very successful. And mending those two, as like being professional and having fun, like, I'm going to make a Super Bowl reference, but you've seen it like in the Super Bowl yesterday with the Eagles. They executed and had fun with playing as a team, and they did the best they could possibly do and are now world champions. And now Malcolm's starting to find that combination, and I think starting to find that balance of, like, you know, I can have fun. I'm enjoying, like, the most fun you'll ever have on a dirt bike is winning the most competitive race that you are in, no matter what skill level you are at.
Yeah, but that's the hard thing is how do you have fun when you fucking lose?
Well,
you know what I mean?
There's different wins. Like we talk about different wins all the time.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And then
Agreed.
you're having fun when you feel good on the bike, no matter the result. But if Malcolm's having fun and feeling good, now we know what that looks like.
Okay, let's get into a little bit more of the nitty gritty. And definitely one of the reasons why I wanted to bring Anton on tonight is because there's some other stuff kind of behind the scenes that people don't really totally know about with the Malcolm Stewart win. And this is something that I want to kind of just get your opinion on. And maybe if you have some more insight in the background, Anton, is like, okay, so one, we know the KTM group is struggling right now.
Yes.
And they've cut back their rider and racer program a lot, right? So that's got to be one thing that's weighing on Malcolm no matter what, because there's no guarantee next year of what's going on with Husqvarna. And number two, he's on a 1-year deal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that means that my guy has to perform, and if he doesn't perform, he's not going to be on a good team, because when you take out, let's say worst comes to worst, or not worst comes to worst, but like say something really big does happen. Well, that means Gas and Husky are probably out. KTM might be hanging on by a thread. But I'm saying Gas and Husky are gone, right? So if Malcolm doesn't come back on his 1-year contract with all the things that are going on and come out and do what he just did this weekend, Malcolm is looking at like, a Phoenix Honda. Not that that's a bad team, but it ain't Husqvarna.
So what I don't understand,
this could have put him on
I don't
Kawasaki versus Husqvarna.
I mean, when we're going down the OEM route, I think that Rockstar team will pick up another manufacturer, because I don't think Rockstar's not going to have a mainstream team in Supercross.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
And PMG, Pierre Mobility Group, they're not going to let one of those teams die on the vine. Like one of those bikes, either a red bike or a white bike, will be going racing. Like they are not going to not let that happen. I think that from the conversation I had with Pitt over the weekend,
and
like
can you clarify who Pitt is?
Pitt Buyer is the director of motorsports for all of KTM's racing efforts around the world. That's everything from the Red Bull Rookies Cup in MotoGP to the MotoGP program that everybody cites as like the biggest drain on their finances, when that's like not categorically the entire truth, but it is an expense. Like it is a big project that has taken a lot of resources and money. But Pitt sees everything from top to bottom. He is a former professional MXGP racer himself that had a career-ending injury. Since that injury, he has stepped into that role at KTM and has been with them through all the highs and lows of developing everyone, from like getting Ken, getting Dungey, getting Cairoli, helping that team become what it is in this day and age. And although he doesn't race now, I'll tell you that he attacks this thing with that job just as aggressively as a racer ever did. And he, being a racer, sees what racers need and how to communicate with the team. He's a very important cog in the machine of like the Roger DeCoster, the Ian Harrison, all of the stuff that happens around the world.
Yeah.
So he had mentioned to me though, like if anybody that has read the KTM filing of everything that needed to happen as they go through this financial proceeding, they have underlined that racing is the most important thing that they can do, because it is marketing the motorcycles that they're trying to sell, for one. But number two, the potential investors that could come into this are seeing bikes that are very, very successful on track. Like they have good development behind them.
Yep.
They have good riders on them, and they have good financial partners like Rockstar, like Red Bull, that will cut a check to make sure the bikes stay out there.
Yeah.
So if you're looking to invest your money in something, every time Malcolm wins or Chase wins or Tom Vial does good or RJ does good, anytime anybody on an Austrian bike does well, that's just another reason to get with them. And if you have a chance to pick up that program for pennies on the dollar like it's looking, you're going to go do it. So I think that although everything has been scaled down and there's less people doing more jobs than ever. Pitt definitely said that to me in the interview. They're committed to going racing because they know that's what's going to keep this thing moving forward no matter what. Yeah. That's what they do.
So here's our next question. And Ty and I were talking about this off air, and we're just assuming, but I'm sure you know a little bit more than we do, is now that Malcolm actually got a win, even if he has a 1-year deal, do you think there possibly could be a clause in his contract that says, hey, if you win, you might be guaranteed, or there's some kind of more of an
potential.
Yeah, like something like that. Do you think that could happen?
I think for sure, and especially considering almost everybody under the umbrella is looking at a re-up right now. Like Chase is at the end of his deal. AP signed a 1-year deal last year. Yeah. RJ's at, a big point for what he's got to do. Barsha's at a 1-year deal. That's got to figure out where he's going to go. So Malcolm getting a win, definitely showing that the bike works and showing what that group has done. Because, let's be honest, the Husky team, since Bobby Hewitt left and then has went through the struggles of figuring out how to set up this new bike and have been like, oh my God, that bike ended Christian's whoop riding capabilities. Malcolm can't get through the whoops anymore.
Yeah.
Hunter Folks got that bike set up pretty good. I mean, Malcolm was crushing the whoops.
Well, dude, and that's what I said too. I was like, I've dogged on the KTM and the Husky a lot about it because it's very apparent that they have not been able to get through the whoops prior to this weekend. And this year, the beginning of this year.
I wouldn't say this weekend. I feel like this whole year, with even Chase's bike from the get-go, from A1, you could
quite a bit different.
And better specifically in the whoops than all of last year.
Yes. Still not the best bike in the whoops. Jason Anderson does.
But on par.
Yes, way on par.
You know what I'm saying?
Now we're in a ballpark.
Like we're definitely not Justin Cooper jumping through the whoop section every lap.
And Malcolm Stewart was the best guy in the whoops this weekend. I'll fucking say it. The Husky with Malcolm Stewart was the best guy. Maybe Max Anstie was better. But really close.
Max Anstie was
better. Dude, Max was fucking flying through the whoops.
And then Chisholm third. Chisholm in the LCQ, holy shit.
Hey.
Dude, Chisholm, that fool's got so much experience. Like, that motherfucker, he could run
He was at Tampa MX. He was just like, another Wednesday night. Let's go. Same dirt, same everything. Let's just fucking go. Cut the lights, make it half as bright in here, and I got it.
Okay, guys, so I have the sector times for this weekend. I'm guessing sector 7 is the whoop section, has it in it.
Yep.
Because Malcolm Stewart was at 8.7.
Yep.
8 seconds, 7 milliseconds, 8.7. And then the next guy was Cooper Webb at a 9.6. So Malcolm Stewart was almost a second faster just in that segment than everybody else on the track. As far as fastest segments in that time.
That's pretty incredible, right?
Dude, that is ridiculous.
It says a lot about Cooper too.
Go to the top. It shows you the segment times. All the way to the top, it shows you the track map. But go ahead.
While we're on this topic, how sick is the live timing stuff? The results stuff to go through and really see what guy does what and how it works on the track. It's incredible.
It's really good.
It's unbelievable to see what's out there, and every week that we see more and more data, it just gets better.
Yeah, because even what I like, Addy, I'm actually looking at the results page on resultsupercrosslive.com.
Yep.
So the ideal lap time for Malcolm Stewart was a 52 flat.
Mm-hmm.
And that beats Cooper Webb's ideal lap time by 52.2 by 2/10.
Okay, so Cooper Webb was sector 7 was you come out of that left 90 and go 2-3 before the whoops, and then the whoops and that left-hander.
Oh, that was it.
Yeah, so it was the whoops.
Yeah, so so almost a second faster just in that lane.
Jeez.
Crazy.
Check. Just check. Can you just check Max's times for me?
Yeah, I can check.
What did we say? 8.7 for Malcolm?
Yeah.
Okay,
8.7.
well, I think that's a wrap on Malcolm. Who are we going to next, bro?
Bro, Max Anstie was was fast, but not even close. He was in 9.4.
That's still faster than Coop.
Best to best, yes.
That's pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, well, the moral of the story here is that Malcolm Stewart and Husqvarna have the shit figured out on the whoops, and it's not a problem.
And you know what's so cool about this win for Malcolm is I feel like just with that win, it guaranteed him whatever even happens after this point, it guaranteed him a contract and another year deal, either with Husqvarna or another factory team.
Yeah.
Hey,
I mean,
can I say a story while we're on this point about Malcolm and this win?
Hit me.
Okay, so I said that Malcolm and I were together like worst day of my life, right? He and I are on this trip in 2018 where all my company-owned camera equipment at Transworld got stolen, like in the pit area of the race we were at. Like somebody that was working the event, like saw me take my bag out of the rental car and like saw me turn my back, grabbed it, left, never saw the shit again. Malcolm and I were together that whole week with Roger and then Rango, who was his mechanic at the time. And this was one of those deals where like Malcolm's on a Suzuki. He's not a full-time racer. It's like still wondering what the future is going to be.
Yeah. And
we're driving around all week, like trying to find parts that got lost in shipping because he did Zwartcross in the Netherlands the weekend before. And they ship parts from that to like whole thing. So we're on this like great adventure in the rental car all through Italy trying to find shit. Can't find it. Rango and Roger step out to talk to the UPS people, and it's just me and Malcolm sitting at this Burger King talking, and we talked for like 25 minutes. And this, again, was 7 years ago. His confidence that he was going to win a main event in his life never wavered. There was never any point of like, I hope I can do it. He was like, I'm going to do it. I know I'm going to do it. I know it's going to happen. And the things that he was setting himself up for, like, none of the stuff that was happening that we see right now was ever thought about. He was still fighting for hey man, I hope somebody gives me a full-time ride. I'll do a full-time ride. I'd like to just do Supercross only, but I'll grit the whole thing out if I have to.
Yep.
Although it's taken Malcolm this long to get here, it makes it that much sweeter that he did it. And I think that like this would be the make or break year if he was ever going to do it. And like if everything is the writing on the wall of like you better have fun, your dad's telling you better enjoy what you're doing because it can only go for so long.
Yep.
Do it. And then to hear the people that are around him, like Nathan Ramsey, like I think him and Nathan's story is very similar. And like for Nathan to enjoy that with him, Nate's one win that happens in Pontiac, the conditions he gets it under.
Yeah.
That's a great story for everybody that's there. Like it's awesome all the way across the board. And I really think like, now that Malcolm's got one in him, why doesn't he do it more now, especially in a year like this when it's wide open?
I mean, that's a great point, and that's a perfect segue to like where I kind of want to go with this and kind of wrapping up the Malcolm story or Malcolm Stewart story. So Detroit's next weekend.
Yep.
We got a lot more rounds of Supercross left.
Yeah.
Do we think he can pull out another win and kind of get into the upper echelon of those riders and get in the mix of top 4, top 5 every single weekend now that he has that win underneath his belt?
Yeah, absolutely. It's not even a question. I wouldn't be surprised if he wins in Detroit.
So I would say
I'm not going to say this bullshitting like just to be like, oh yeah, because he's my guy and he won and everything. Look at who's going to beat him. Who's ahead of him that's going to beat him right now?
That's where I'm
like,
at.
If he's not making dramatic bike changes every single week back to back, and he's not hunting for anything and searching, and he's just like, you just go with the flow. Fuck, that's all you do.
Yeah, if he doesn't have
What's to stop him now?
Yeah, if he doesn't have any second guess in his mind with his bike setup, Detroit's going to be a very similar track to what he was running in Tampa. Yeah, it's a different color dirt and there's a lot more rocks, but it's definitely hard pack and chuck hold. It's going to be very similar to Tampa. Yep. And then Chase got mentally demolished. He might reset a little bit, but Tomac is hurt. Cooper Webb looks spicy, but there's
but still he's on the podium. No questions.
You know what I'm saying? Like
he's either 1, 2, or 3.
You know, but he's in the top 5 for sure every single weekend.
I'm saying podium every week.
He's got to figure out his starts.
True.
Malcolm, that's one thing.
But
that's
what
one
do
thing.
What do you know what happens when you get confidence?
Starts come.
Starts come real fucking quick.
Yes.
When you know for a fact that you're supposed to be out front, it's weird how you get a fucking good start.
Or you just start making shit happen.
Exactly.
Because you
start
believe.
Ken Roczening it.
Yeah.
What? I was at 8th. Now I'm in 3rd at the finish, bitch.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's just different. And the reason why I say that Malcolm could win no problem this weekend in Detroit is because the speed at Tampa. You know, it would be so different if Malcolm got out front in Tampa and like somehow got a top 3 start and then, you know, Sexton was out front and he was like 5 or 6 seconds ahead and he wasn't catching him and then he went down and then Malcolm won. Mm-hmm. That'd be a totally different story.
Yeah.
But The Malcolm that I seen, and I know we're freaking going on this, but the Malcolm I seen in Tampa was like, okay, I got a mediocre start. I'm cutting through the pack. I'm faster than you. Oh, I'm faster than you. Oh, I'm faster than you. Oh, I see Chase. Oh, I'm going to catch you. Let me put some pressure on you. Okay, faster lap time? Yup. Fastest in the whoops? Yup. Oh, Chase goes down? Let me walk away with this. And when the pressure's on more than anything and the crowd is just going bananas and he's all by himself for the last 5 laps with Cooper Webb behind him, the guy who comes on at the finish, and he still holds it together and runs a perfect race, the guy's ready, dude.
Yeah. And he's
ready.
And he's been with oh my God, why am I blanking on his name? His trainer.
Alden Baker?
Alden Baker's program for what, 3 or 4 years now?
That's what I mean, bro. The foundation's there.
The foundation's
He
there.
just needed to put his shit together.
Yeah, he just needs to do it now.
Okay. I think we're moving on, dude. Let's move on to the Dirt Tricks 450 class. Let's go to the highlights. Right?
Where do you want to start?
I mean, we got to start with Ken Roczen.
No, bro, we got to start. We'll chronological order, okay?
Okay,
practice, Eli Tomac, toe drag swag.
Toe drag, not so swag, bro.
Dude.
What? Dude, so his foot just slipped off, right?
Do you think, I saw the video,
Yep.
Do you think he hurt his knee by the first dab or the second dab?
Second dab.
Second one. That second one makes you puke. Oh, fuck. How just abrupt
Dude,
that,
the
like,
second
that
one,
jerk
I
is.
thought the
Oh, my
second
God.
one was it. What, Ty's disagreeing?
Like, it seems like a lot of guys would. That was one of those corners. You know how a rutted corner is, where you got just a little bit of like, I can drag a foot off this one. I can have one off, like no big deal. I can drag a toe. Oh, that was sick. I could feel it pull, and like not a biggie, especially off the inside line.
Yep.
But when it went and that real quick twitch when it was underneath the foot peg, fuck, that looks so bad.
See, the only reason I second guess that, and two, like I don't, if it's the second one, it's definitely not a knee injury. It's like it's a hyperextension of his ankle or something.
No, see, I'm watching it right now. It's a knee injury. It's the second one. Because the first one, his foot hit and slid. And then the second one, he like stuck his foot down and it turned and rode under the bike. Like it turned in and went back.
See, I've had my knee slip on those foot dabs. You know that first one that looks like nothing?
Let's put it this way. Either one of them could have fried him.
Yes. That's what I want to get clear is like the second one, yes, looked gnarly, but the first one could have done the damage.
Okay, so we all pretty much know this. Let's talk about moving forward. What's Tomac moving forward? At what point? Because
he already got his knee checked out today for sure. I have no idea for a fact what he's doing, but you got to think he's already had an MRI and he knows the results by now.
Well, Anton brought this up too when we were off the phone. You realize could that be Tomac's last race?
Yes.
Realistically, it could.
Yes, it definitely
And I really hope it's not. But dude, if you guys go check out on Track Talker's Instagram and the 722 Instagram, I posted a video of him off the track, like with him kind of talking to his mechanic, trying to like figure out his knee. He was in massive amounts of pain. Okay. Tomac is the last thing this guy's going to do is sit on the side of the track where everybody can film him.
Mm-hmm.
And if he's not in an excruciating amount of pain where he doesn't want to keep riding off the track back to the truck.
Yeah.
So this is big problems. And the fact that Yamaha said that he was good to go and then he barely fucking made the main and then got passed for 22nd and then came back to 17th or something like that.
Well, I mean, I don't think he came back to 17th. A lot of people just crashed.
There you go.
Right.
I don't even know why he was out there, to be honest. Like, dude,
to get those 17 points.
Yeah, but make the main, bro. Make the main. I guess it is a couple points. But, dude, what's worth it? Is it worth it to possibly go out there and damage your knee?
Bro, when he wins the championship by 1 point, it's going to be worth it.
Fuck. Especially after that night. Holy shit.
Or is it one of those things where a couple years ago you saw the end of your career happen, not on your terms, and you're like, fuck that. I'm not letting that happen to me. I got to go out at least one more time and ride to see what I can do. You know what I mean?
It
can't
definitely
just stop now.
It could be all that shit.
Oh, yeah. I think wherever he's at mentally. Like if he wants to get another round, he can totally do it, and everybody will support him.
Dude,
I watched him line up for the main event and just like 1,000-yard stare. Eli's always was super focused, before the main event gate drops. But I mean, I had a question for you, Adam. I mentioned this before we got on, and he kept he went to the same gate in the heat race too. But like, why pick the inside gate? And then he just kept looking down the gate the whole time. Like he was locked in. He knew that was going to be a hard one. God knows what they did to get him out on the track for that one, because he didn't go to the Asterisk truck or the Alpine Stars truck from what I heard, but he has an on-site doc that's there. Like the guy, the shorter white guy, white hair that's always around him.
Yep.
And his dad, that's like his physio guy. That guy's always at the races. That guy makes sure that Eli's dialed all the time.
Yeah. Well,
so what did they do to get him ready? And then how bad could that stuff be right now, really, for him to just go out and have to grunt out a 17th, a hard 17th, and to get lapped twice? Like shit, that you've never seen Eli get lapped twice.
Well, this is the deal. This is what I was thinking about with the inside gate pick. And Ty, tell me if I'm wrong. If I'm going inside gate pick, I'm going all or nothing. So Eli, in his mind, was going for the whole shot. Because if you're going inside gate pick, you know damn well if you don't get the sickest fucking jump and get the whole shot, you're dead fucking last.
Yeah, like
so he knew
knows
by picking that gate, he was either going for the whole shot or he was going to get dead last.
He knew 10 feet out of the gate if he was going to get the whole shot or not.
But that's what I mean. That decision in my mind for Tomac to go inside gate was, I still believe that I have a shot to get the whole shot. And maybe he was hoping that he could get the whole shot and run off adrenaline or something. Because to me, that's the dumbest gate to pick. There's no fucking way if I had a pick outside of the box, am I picking that inside gate?
Yeah, but you had 14th gate pick.
That's what I mean. I would rather go outside of the box than inside after watching that night. All the way inside, very, very, very inside.
I don't know.
And have 21 dudes push up, pause up on what you had already heard. Like,
yeah,
he's
that
proven
too.
that he can make an outside gate work. He's proven he can make an outside gate work. He's taken that risk before. I mean, he usually does, and then he can sweep out. But there was no, like, if you don't get the jump, everybody's pushing in on the funkiest first turn that we've had in quite some time. At least if he went to the other one, you're not going to have everybody pressing up against it. And then also you could push a little bit or just wait and cut under. I thought it was all pretty, like, questionable, but I do see what you mean, Adam, on that of like, if I think I got a chance, I at least have to try to get to the first turn first and do what I can. Because, like, he gets in the red zone like he can before, and, like,
he can do
if it's the last. If you think, like, hey, if you really think this is now or never, if my career, everything rides on this, I got to make this shit happen. I have to give it every single thing I can.
Isn't that
I can't
kind
just
of
pussyfoot
wild to
through the
think
first
about?
turn.
I mean, that's really what Eli was probably thinking. You guys know that, right? 100%. When he fucked up
100%.
his knee in that practice, he was thinking, wow, this could be it right now. And he decided, no, it wasn't going to be it. Because his physio fucking yanked on his knee and could tell if that fucking knee was toasted.
And in all reality, this just bums me out thinking about it, is like that type of injury, even if it is a stinger or just, let's say, a bone bruise, bro, somehow it's a bone bruise.
He's still not in the championship.
That takes so long.
That's what I mean.
Like, people don't understand. I had a bone bruise when I tore my ACL and I rode with it or whatever.
Yeah.
After, the bone bruise was like, felt like I had a broken tib every single time I bounced.
Yeah.
Like, it's gnarly. It takes like 6 to 8 weeks for that thing to go away.
Okay.
This is not a Monday through Friday injury.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on.
Hey,
go ahead.
Hold on. Big picture on this, though. So, like, Eli riding the way he's been riding lately, and, is it his last year? Is it not? Well, yeah, it's his last one doing outdoors and SMX and all that. But the way everything was looking, did you not think, like, fuck, he's coming back in 26 to race Supercross? Like, look how good he's doing. Why would he stop now? This immediately puts a question mark on, like, okay, does he get through this year and does he come back next year? Or does he see, like, do I really want to keep taking these hits? Like, why at this stage in my career with everything done, nothing left to prove, do I take another one? And then you think, what does that open up for the rider market for next year? Because we just got off of Malcolm's talking point, and, like, not to circle back to him, but this throws everything in question. Star then has a bike open. knows how to ride the Yamaha, but Chase also might want to get off the KTM. So what does Eli's decision do for the entire sport? Everything hinges on what happens from this now.
Yes.
Yeah. And you know, unfortunately too, I don't see Eli coming back in 26 at all. You know, like it's just and the reason that is because I think Eli's so elite that he doesn't want to come back unless he knows he can win. Even if it was for half a season, he don't want to race unless he knows he can win. Eli doesn't want to come back and be like, "Oh yeah, I'll get 10th." No, that's not Eli. Eli's like, "No."
And how it was looking, he was winning. He was on pace to win the championship. I was like, that's homie's title after Jet left.
Yeah, we thought it was going to be, you know, the Chase Sexton Eli Tomac rematch when he tore his Achilles and had that championship wrapped. Pretty much, that's what we thought. But now everything's changed in a weekend.
All right, now moving forward.
Yep.
Heat race. Hunter Lawrence, right before the finish line, hits a top block and whacks his neck and leaves in the Alpenstar side by side with the neck brace.
Yeah, concussion is what I heard. I mean,
so
dude, that's
he's down for a week at least.
No, probably not. I'll bet he'll race next weekend. He'll just be a little fuzzy. He'll get a 10th. You know how that goes.
I know, but damn.
Right? Don't you think so?
I don't know. If it was that, if that was that,
take the risk.
Yeah.
Yeah, but big picture, he might have to because they have to have a Honda on the track. And who are they going to get? Realistically, they're going to get, I seen something today, Dean Wilson, right? That would be the only guy, but I don't even know if Dino, like no disrespect to Dino, but he's been having so much fun. I don't know.
Yeah, over in Sweden, Arena Cross.
That's what I mean. He's been having so much fun, and I know he can make the main still. But like, you're gonna hop on a totally different bike, and like, what are you gonna do?
Well, I mean, honestly, it'd be a perfect ride for Dino because it's like you don't got to do nothing. Just go have fun on an HRC factory Honda and just go put it in the main event.
Well, that's what I mean. No matter what, if Hunter doesn't ride, they're gonna have to get somebody on that bike because they can't have nobody on the bike. I don't know. I mean, Anton, you know more about that, but like most of these teams have to have a rider on the bike at least. I think they have a 1 weekend like clause where they can have it for not 1 weekend, but the next weekend they do.
Yeah, that's like especially if you have a title sponsor agreement with like a energy drink like Monster or Red Bull or Rockstar, like you definitely have to have X number to keep the branding out there. But Honda doesn't have that. Well, Progressive. Who knows what Progressive, if they've written the same thing into that contract, considering they got logos on every single bike on the track anyway.
Yeah,
but
they do.
I agree with you, Ty, that like Dean does make the most sense because like, it checks every box. Like everybody loves Dean. He's been riding the 25 anyway. All they're trying to do now is market a brand new motorcycle. Mm-hmm. Not having that bike on the track is the worst marketing to not have a 2025 CRF 450 out there. Yeah. And then, Dean comes and films a vlog, shows you how tight the Honda truck is. He has fun with Lars, who he knows forever, Shane Drew, everybody like that. He comes in and just chops it up for a couple weeks and like Hunter comes back. Everybody wins. It's not a big deal. Like that is best case scenario for everything. And it really does give everybody a lot of good because, like, that just solidifies Dean's Honda brand ambassadorship going forward. Like, hey, man, do everything you need to do. Just be the company man for a little bit. But I also see the flip side of that. If you're having fun traveling the world right now and you don't want to come get your teeth kicked in to try to be the 22nd fastest guy after you've been top dog in the British UK series and all that, like, and you already have commitments, what do you do? Yeah. So I could see that. Because realistically, there is not a lot of people out there. I know that people are like Vince. Vince won that Arena Cross Championship last weekend, and I did see where someone was like, "That would be a pretty good like, hey, thanks for that." But also, Vince has done so much to, I think, piss people at Honda corporate off with just different things over the years. Things that he's done, incidents that he's been either involved in or a party to, or just an innocent bystander, having guys run into him or slowing down Honda riders.
Well, yeah, let's put it this way. The fact that
he's got enough problems that Vince ain't getting that ride.
No, I realistically, unfortunately for Vince, I think there's been some things in the past that he's just not going to get that ride.
Realistically, unfortunately?
Yeah, realistically, unfortunately, bro. I mean, I don't know what fucking way do you put that? What way do you want me to put it? Fucking Vince ain't getting the ride. He fucked it up. Okay? He fucking cross jumped the fuck out of him, took out Hunter in Anaheim 1 last year. I mean, what the fuck do you want me to say? Okay? I'm trying to be nice about it.
Imagine Vince posting a picture on Hunter Lawrence's 450.
Oh my god!
Oh, Corona test track on Wednesday. Just like day one, let's go.
Hunter's like, I'm coming back.
Yeah,
I'm coming
Hunter's
back.
like, I ain't that concussed, bro.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah, give me my bike. Oh shit. Okay, moving on. So Chase Sexton wins Heat 2, right, and then Cooper Webb wins Heat 1.
Yes.
Okay. LCQ, the 100-year-old fucking
the Suzuki was working in the whoops.
Dude, Kyle Chisholm, 100 years old, still racing and
ties Jeremy McGrath for main events.
Bro, how cool is it that Kyle Chisholm got in opening ceremonies and had his own thing?
I didn't know that.
Full surprise too.
Yeah, full surprise.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He didn't even know?
I mean, he probably knew had a hint.
What kind of music did they have for him?
Bro, honestly, I didn't even get to see. I just saw him ride out. I missed the video.
That's pretty tight, though.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then,
so they told me that they told me they didn't tell him until Saturday morning at Riders meeting, but on Friday they filmed stuff for the opening ceremonies and they're like, oh yeah, this is for TV. Just tell us your story about how you're from Tampa and this, and this. So he just says that stuff.
Yeah.
And then that's tight. It up with all this. So then when he comes down for a writers meeting and they have to say like, all right, these guys, you need to be down here for opening ceremonies. They say Chiz. And then he rode out. I'm pretty sure he rode out to Guns N' Roses Paradise City.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah.
Yes.
That's a hype.
Now we're talking. Okay. 450 main event. What else I mean, the only thing we haven't covered, right, is like the biggest thing on the list. Ken Roczen and Jeremy Hand and fucking Tristan Lane? Or are we covering something else?
I mean, bro, I can roast some people on that.
Roast them. I mean, dude, this is the thing, bro. I've been a lapper before. It fucking sucks.
Dude, being a lapper is horrible because you don't know what to do sometimes.
Well, this is the big fucking problem. And Cooper Webb nailed it on the head. You know what the fucking problem is?
2 cuss words in the last 10 seconds. What is it?
Oh, shoot. Okay. Do you know what the problem is?
What?
The problem is that when we're getting lapped, it is so easy to take advantage of about 5 to 10 seconds on the guy ahead or behind you when you're getting lapped. If you get lapped well, that you can make up so much time and get a few positions even. You can get a couple sometimes.
And if you watch back, like a lot of you guys have, and watch main events in the past and watch film on different riders getting different positions, if you can play the blue flag right, that could be the difference between
a couple grand.
Yes, 12 through 22nd.
Literally, bro. A couple grand.
Yes.
And so what Cooper Webb brought up in the press conference about this whole thing is like the lappers aren't getting out of the way and they're trying to stay as tight as humanly possible to Ken Roczen or Cooper Webb or to whoever, is because so if one guy's trying to get out of the way and do the right thing and be the nice guy, well, then you're getting out of the way so much that you stop kind of doing the rhythm and you go off to the left and you're out of sync. Well, if the fucking other guy stays in front of the guy for as long as he can, then moves out of the way and then gets behind him and fucking jumps the rhythm, all of a sudden you just made up a fucking straightaway on the guy that pulled over.
Yes.
And so now all the privateers, all of us know that. And we're like, fuck that. We're not getting out of the fucking way. We gotta fuck this motherfucker's trying to get me for 17th. Fuck that. You know what I mean, though?
I know exactly what you mean. But you can't be bar to bar with Ken Roczen, bro. Just
no, you can't.
Be on the rear wheel. Just be 3 feet back from where you were.
Yeah, I mean, dude, Jeremy Hand, fuck. Fudge sickles, bro.
I mean, you gave up.
That was
Jeremy Hand did the right thing in the bull corner, right? Gave up the main line, didn't go wide, cut on the inside. But I don't know if Kenny was just like kind of waiting or just Jeremy Hand got a really good acceleration coming in the sand. But then all of a sudden, Jeremy Hand was back bar to bar with him.
Dude, and you know what it looked like to me, too? one second, Anton. It looked like to me that Jeremy Hand rolled the first sand thing. Well, they put dirt underneath the sand, and what probably happened is he rolled the first sand
and then got a
thing,
whole bunch of traction.
fucking goosed it. Gosh, I cuss so much. He goosed it and just yeered right into Ken Roczen, bro.
I mean, he didn't go into Ken Roczen. It just nobody had enough space to move, and Kenny was right on the edge of speed. And Kenny wanted to move left because that's where his momentum was going.
Mm-hmm.
But Jeremy Hand was there, so he kind of countered, and then they landed, and then, dude, and Kenny got so lucky. His head went right underneath Tory Lane's bike.
You mean Tristan
Lane. I don't know why I call him Tory.
Tory Lane, dog. He's a singer, bro.
Yeah, I know.
I fucking love it. I love it. This is why I wanted to be on this show so bad.
Hit me. What's your take, Anton? Like,
Okay. I sent you that photo in the text message that I said was like, I mean,
Yep.
literally split seconds before that happened.
Yep.
And you see all four of them in the whoops. And
Yeah.
like you said earlier, Ty, when you broke down the segments of what is segment 7, go to the lap timing or the live timing stuff and see what is segment 7 and go down. And because everything's new, you see Jeremy Hand, Ken Roczen, Tristan Lane all grouped together of how they finished. Look at the difference in pace of those guys, and this is no disrespect to anybody. Kenny's lapping 5 and 7 seconds faster than them in the laps leading up to this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
1 full second faster in sector 7, which is that, a couple jumps and then setting up in the whoops. Him and Cooper are closing so much ground on those guys that, again, I agree that all of the things that are true, lappers sometimes do not get out of the way. The flags do get thrown early that sometimes they're just like, why would I have to move? They're in their own battle and they're trying to take every single advantage to get it out of there. But also, you're closing in on a guy a second faster than he is on what's arguably the two most technical sections of the track back to back. Like, it is a fucking full-blown recipe for disaster, and that's what happened. And, like, dude, the wildest thing on top of a completely wild day, because, Adam, I asked you, I'm like, hey, what happened to the bike? Like, why'd the chain come off? You know what I mean? And I had no idea until I saw the replay now, because it's the perfect crazy scenario of Jeremy's foot peg going into Ken's chain and knocking the thing off. You can see the spark fly and then die in the sand, as Kenny's bike goes flying to the right. Like, that's fucking crazy to see all of those things that are all true happen in one instance. And it's the perfect scenario for it.
yeah.
And didn't Tristan Lane get a clutch lever into his bicep?
He got Kenny's clutch lever through his bicep.
Ooh. Yeah. You get
So not only did Jeremy hand Kenny up, but he also,
Tristan Lane got a clutch lever through his bicep.
yes, and now he's not racing supposedly in Detroit.
Oh,
I mean, dude, but this is the thing. Okay, you were talking about blue flags. Dude, when I was getting lapped, as soon as I seen a blue flag, I looked behind me over the triple or wherever it was, and I knew when and where those guys exactly were at. It's not that hard to figure it out, bro. The track goes forward and then it goes right back across each other.
yes, but look at these are some unwritten.
Don't even but
hold on.
If you were there, would you have known?
No. This is not where I was going with it. Okay.
Okay.
Some unwritten rules that a lot of people don't know, though, and I think a lot of people know on the track. First and second, you are kind of looking for them because they're the first ones going along and they're a little bit more aware. Second, third, fourth, fifth,
Fuck them.
kind of like, sorry,
bit
dog. Sorry, dog. This sand section, I think I'm pretty good. I think I can hold you off for this one, and I'm going to let you by in that next corner.
Yeah, because you're not first.
Yeah, because I got to get through this.
Exactly. You're third, fourth, and
my
fifth.
My mind has been on this section the whole lap, so fuck you. I got to go through it.
And
back
two,
off.
like
Yes.
what Ty's trying to say is like, if you ain't first or second, bro, you're a little bit low man on the totem pole when you're coming up on me to lap me.
You know what I'm saying?
Little bit.
It's kind of an unwritten rule on the blue flag privateer /
But you got to think
It's
it
not
from the
right.
factory guys too. I mean, you're
but
fighting
hey.
for $1 million championship versus my ass fighting for about maybe $4 or $5 grand.
maybe.
But hey, also though, you can't just say it's a privateer problem, because do remember at San Diego last year, did Eli not use the blue flag to his benefit when he latched in behind the leaders and just picked
Yes.
everybody off?
Yeah, but
Pissed
that's
Cooper
the
off?
thing,
Like,
though. That's the thing. It's behind.
He was behind. Yeah.
if
But
you
that
get
same thing of I'm
behind,
going to use the blue flag to the tactic of I'm going to pass people. There's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it, and there's a million gray areas between there.
Yes, and that's the problem with the rule that Cooper was talking about, and I don't want to shoot it down, but you know, the rule Cooper was talking about is like they should be fined if they don't get out of the way. Well, then it's like as soon as those fucking guys start getting lapped, then you almost can't ride.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then the problem is the reason why those guys get lapped 2-3 times on a track like this is because the track's so tight and small. Fuck, you get lapped, you pull over a couple times, you pull over for fifth, motherfucking first is already back around.
That's what I was about to say, because first could be 20 or 30 seconds in front of fifth and sixth. So, like, where do you stop the blue flag slowing up the competitor?
Fuck.
You know what I'm saying?
And somebody suggested pulling them off the track after you get lapped. That's fucking gnarly.
Yeah, so
I don't like that.
No, that's not the solution.
At the end of some of these tracks, there's only going to be 10 people on the whole entire track. Talk about people leaving early.
Imagine how sick it would be, though, for the privateers. You're like in 10th on a short-ass track. You get lapped. You're like fucking 5-10 minutes in that bitch, and you got 10th. Fuck yeah, bitch.
Let's go.
Let's go. Did a heat
and then
race.
You get a front row seat to see it, just an all-out duel of 8 guys, clear track, just firing. Fuck yeah.
Oh, okay, here we go. Next thing I wanted to bring up is, okay, let's talk about comms as the solution. Okay, everybody wants to say comms is the solution.
Bro, the comms ain't going to help that scenario.
Nope.
Too quick.
What? No, not only that, but what the fuck's a comm going to do that the blue flag didn't?
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that comm's going to do that a blue flag isn't is you'll be able to be notified even more precise. You know, like you'll be able to tell Jeremy Hand, like he's right fucking behind you now. Get out of the way now. You know what I mean? So that could help a little bit. But at the same time, then that means your team and your teammate, your team and your rider have to be on a program that say, oh, dude, he's right behind you, but Tristan's right there. Just fucking stay. Okay, get out of the way, get back. You know what I mean? So it's all coming down to if you make the rule to where the guy in front that's getting lapped doesn't have to worry about losing the time. And that's what it's all coming down to. It's the guy that's getting lapped is worried about how much time they're losing, because if you have a rule that's about, okay, if you're getting lapped, you cannot make a pass or make up time on the rider, then that fixes everything, because the guy behind you and the guy in front realize, okay, I'm going to get docked or I'm going to get penalized if I try to make up any time at all. And so I'm not going to be able to, I won't do that because there's that rule in place.
And I think there's got to be some asterisks. As fucked up as the asterisks sound for now, I think they got to be valid. Like if you're 1 through 8, 1 through 7, that applies. And then after 7th down, like it's going to be.
Fuck them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
that should be the rule. Top 5. If you don't get out of the way for top 5, but how the fuck are you going to know who's top 5?
I don't know.
That's the hard part too, right?
Yeah, because like if you're gonna do it for top 5, then you gotta do it for everybody. But then how are you supposed to keep track of 10th lapping 22nd? And you know,
and the shitty part about this whole conversation is we're gonna get to Daytona and it's not gonna matter because the track's big enough.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even gonna.
Okay, to the comms point, it would probably just be the race officials to the rider, right? And
yeah, but dude, how are you gonna have? We talked about this.
You're going to be in that guy's fucking ear the whole time. You know, fourth coming up now 6th, now 7th. Hey, you need to move. I know you're in 22nd. You're just going to be chattering to that one guy.
Yeah, but here's my thing though, Anton, is now you need 22 fucking AMA officials.
And dude, yeah,
right?
It's not, yeah.
How the fuck is that going to happen? Because you can't.
I'll be an AMA official.
There's one.
I need another job.
I need another job. There's 2. You know what I'm saying? But like now every week you have to have 22 AMA officials and you're allotted a guy that you have to focus on the entire race and have his comm on and be like, 5th's coming up behind you. whatever length is allotted, like
plus 5 seconds,
plus 5 seconds,
plus 4 seconds,
plus 4 seconds,
plus 2 seconds,
plus 2 seconds. But
move to the left-hand side of the track.
And two, you have to have somebody that's decent because you don't want to fucking have them be doing it at any time, any place. You're in the middle of the fucking whoop section, plus 4 seconds, fucking, you know what I mean? Like, dude, it's just, we are stuck in between a rock and a hard place with this lapper situation.
I mean, we were beating a dead horse here, but like the recipe of 2 lappers, one on one side, another on another side,
sand
section. That sand rut in the middle was the main line, and it was just a big crevasse, so everybody was focused towards that.
Dude, I took a picture of the sand section. It was insane.
That's why I'm saying, like, people don't understand, like, those sand sections get so blown out and get, like, such a crevasse in it. Everything kind of goes to that middle.
Yeah.
And then everybody kind of gravitates towards that. So I can see why that was just a recipe for disaster, but it just sucks because, like, you can play the what if game. Like, what if Jeremy Hand just dropped back literally a millisecond and just was on Kenny's rear wheel, and Kenny had enough room to go left and to correct himself.
Literally a millisecond. All my guy had to do was not be beside him.
Literally a millisecond,
Yep. Okay, we got to move on, boys. Let's move on. Stan Benson Racing 250 class highlights. Bro, have you ever been in Bakersfield?
Yes.
You have?
Yes.
So you have been to Stan Benson Racing to get your bike fixed?
Yes.
Have you ever needed Pirelli tires?
No.
How about ETS fuel?
Yes.
You could get it there. Check them out.
All right.
Stan Benson Racing.
Next time in Baco.
Love it. 250 class. Okay. Cameron McAdoo's a superhero. That's all we have to say about that.
Bro, I just want everybody's opinion on this.
Okay.
Michael's including.
I love it.
This is, let's just say real life, for instance, because we're all in this.
So we're not in real life.
We're talking about the Supercross world, and we're always worried about the next race.
Yep.
What happens to these kids that are going without ACL surgery and after their career, and they're still 25 years old, 26 years old, and they still have the rest of their lives to figure out, and they still need to walk?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. It sucks.
You know what I'm saying? People
I've
don't
been thinking
understand
about
that. Like Cameron McAdoo's like, what, 20-something?
Yeah.
I listened to you boys talk about your ACL stuff last week, and like the knowledge that you both had on like the difference between patella tendon, hamstring tendon, cadaver tendon, all of that stuff. That is only shit that you know when every single person in your inner circle has been fucked up and under the knife. And you're just like, oh, did you did it take? To the point that did you know what doctors call the time of year between like end of March until like June?
What?
They call it the harvest season because that's when a bunch of young kids, like in high school and in college, the prime of their life, fittest if they've ever been, all get killed in like drunk driving accidents going home from prom or graduation. So then it's just like any organ you need, bam, 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 you go get them right then.
Wow.
Damn.
Yes.
Bro, and that's like what we're talking about too. It's like, dude, it's like the times of these riders at the end of their careers, they're toast. And realistically, I do not hope this at all. But realistically, the statistics of Cameron McAdoo able to make enough of a living to be set for the rest of his life is like 1%. Like McAdoo is so fast and he's so gnarly, right? But for him to be after Supercross and not have to keep going is like 0 to none.
And then like another rider like RJ Hampshire, like he just has a screw in his wrist that the bone's probably never going to heal because he's just hammering whoops and hammering with Supercross suspension. And it's just like, I mean, luckily like these guys are finding jobs, but like, dude, just now me being I guess I'm the old guy.
Yep,
bench racing, complaining about like the future of these kids.
Yeah.
But it's just like when I was racing, I was like that. I was like, oh bro, I don't need ACL. My knee's fine, dog. I'll be fine.
You realize which is so messed up because I don't even want to say it, but you realize how insignificant a Supercross race is after you're done racing.
Yeah, you're like,
Supercross.
dude, I got so many more years until I die.
Yeah, like, bro, I'm raising my 2 children to now do all of this over again from a different perspective.
Yeah, bro. I'm like, this is a long
Like, I
way
just
to
started.
70.
Yes,
this is a long way to 70, bro.
And I got 2 broken femurs, blown out knee, broke 7, 8, 9, and 10 in my back, fractured my neck. I mean, we're still kicking. You know what I mean?
And we've done pretty
all 5
good.
toes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we've never gotten any infections or any like gnarly surgeries that had mishaps, like other horror
You didn't get
stories.
hooked on pills.
Yeah.
That too.
Oh my God. People wonder
Yeah.
why we don't do
Like
drugs.
real
bro.
time shit.
Yes. Like
Wow.
people go through,
Okay.
like motocrossers go
We
through
gotta
every
get-
single year.
We got to get back on track.
Well,
okay,
I'm just
250 class.
The 250 class is all that combined.
and you not really realizing that there's more life. It's just dirt bikes and how do I win the championship?
Yes. So that's why I don't want to hear any shit about Max Anstie being 31 years old, ripping and winning the first round of 250 East Coast.
Oh, tell him, my boy. Tell him Max Anstie to go. Okay, so let's go to the heat races. You got the heat race results pulled up?
Yes. What do you want to know?
I want to know who won the first and second heat race because I can't really remember.
All right. 250 main event heat race 1. RJ Hampshire, Cameron McAdoo, Tom Vial, Nate Thrasher, Maximus Volan with the finger rear brake 5th.
Okay. Heat 2. Is that the results, Anton? Did I not remember that?
Heat 2.
Oh, that sounded right.
Yep.
Max
sounded right.
Anstie, Pierce Brown with the whole shot, Chance Hymas, Seth Hamaker, and Levi Kitchen with a 5th, and Carson Mumford 6th.
Okay. Chance Hymas, not looking good. But I heard 4 weeks ago he was on a turn track.
Yes.
So
When I heard that, I was
Yes.
like, oh, okay, he's doing really good.
yeah. Like, I was like, dude, you look like shit. And then somebody was like, yeah, he was on a turn track 4 weeks ago. I was like, damn, you look good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was very interested, though, that he's running a 110 rear wheel with a smaller rear wheel, too.
What?
Like a smaller sized
Like
rear
an
wheel.
18-inch?
Yeah, no, not an 18. Like a 250 rear rim. He's running a 250F rear rim with a 110 rear tire.
Don't they
Which-
normally do that?
No, most of the 250 guys just run the 450 rear wheel with the rear tire.
Do you know the rim size is like a 215?
I don't know the rim size. I just know that it's
I thought a
smaller.
standard 450 rim's a 215.
It could be, bro. We're going to have to do more research. But either way, he was running the smaller wheel and the smaller tire, and that was not the setup for this weekend. When
Are
the
you
track's
sure?
that slick,
It
bro,
was probably good. That platform was probably better in the whoop sections.
dude, on what planet? The whoops were like ice.
The 110 has a bigger platform, so it's going to create more traction.
What do you mean it has a bigger platform?
Than the 100?
No, the 110's a 250, Ty. Come on, dude. Get with the program. The 120 is the 450.
Bro, do you remember when Blake Baggett ran a 100?
He's a superhuman being. I don't know what's wrong with him.
He said it fit better on the ruts. That's all.
110.
No, he ran a 100.
Anton.
A 1990 100. Don't
Anton.
make me Google
knowing,
this.
Look, knowing what I know off of selling used car tires back in the day, it is your 275 is your width of the wheel, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
And then your sidewall height is the percentage of the width. So like that is the second number is a percentage of how wide that tire is.
Call him up.
And then
You probably
your rim
do.
size. Oh, dude, Brian Fleck, him and Brock Glover, we'd be on the phone the rest of the night.
Oh, I have Brock Glover's phone number. I'll call him.
Dude.
Glover would love to talk about that right now. I'm sure Brock
Oh,
would tell
he
you everything.
would. Oh
Hey,
my God.
Just call him on your phone. He's not, just call him and ask him if anybody was ever running a 100 or it was a 110, 120. Because there's no chance it was ever a 100.
Where does Brock live? Does he live in Cali?
I have no idea. Call
Yeah,
him up. It's
Brock
only
lives
8
down by,
o'clock. He's not even going to be on the phone on the podcast anyways because you don't have it hooked up to the Roadcaster. It doesn't matter. We're going to keep going. But either way, I think one of the guys this weekend that definitely struggled but will get better, Chance Hymas. Okay, that's a no-brainer. I thought the bike looked good. I thought the motor looked good. Did I think the decision to run the 110 was there? No, I did not. But that's totally fine. Who else?
I'm with you on the surprise that he raced, because when I talked to Lars last week to get an update on Jet after Phoenix, I was like, hey, how we looking on Chance? And he's like, we'll make a decision this week. Like, we'll know.
Oh,
and then
wow.
Shane Drew, the suspension technician, went out there to do some testing, because it was supposed to be a full team test in Florida this past week with Jet, Hunter, and Chance, but obviously that didn't happen.
Yep.
But they still worked on Chance. He rode the race bike at the compound, like really broke everything in and got it going how he needed to. But then when I talked to him on Friday, he's like, I was always racing. They don't know that I was always racing. They can say I wasn't, but I was always racing. So definitely two different thoughts on who was lining up and how they were lining up on Saturday. But good to see Chance out there doing it, and just like, hey, clean day, stayed out of trouble, everything like that.
Dude,
hey, while we're talking about 250 power,
Yep.
Adam, did you pay attention to the 3 in the far end zone?
Of course I did.
What bikes did it? What bikes didn't?
Yes.
Obviously the Star bikes doing it. Some of the PC bikes were doing it. Were a lot of red bikes doing it, or not so much? On the 250s.
Well, the privateer guys weren't doing it as much as, like, obviously Chance was. Chance looked like he was struggling with it, but another team that looked like they were struggling with it too was Triumph. But I don't know if that's because Austin wasn't where he usually is. Austin was off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Austin was
all
off.
day.
Well, he had the flu.
Did he?
Yeah, that's what they said on the broadcast.
What they came out and said. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank God he got something.
And that makes sense.
Thank God he had something.
That was a hard day to watch. Because
I didn't hear that.
That was a hard day to watch.
Yeah, I did not know that. And I'm like coming out, I'm like calling Austin Faulkner for a podium, and my boy's qualifying 15th.
Dude, what do we think about Tom Vial's crash in the whoops?
I didn't even see
practice.
It. I didn't even see it.
Bro, he went full end over end. Bike did a whole on flip before it hit the ground. That's why his front end was so twisted.
Poor Tom, bro.
Okay, that might explain the fifth now. Like, where I was wondering why wasn't he pushing? Because we talked about this before the phone call before we started recording.
Yeah.
He was ripping. Like, he attacked the whoops every time. For somebody that jumped the whoops all last year.
Yeah, but he never really qualified great, though. Like, what was his qualification?
But he
wasn't
great.
I got it.
But to Ty's point, that was a big dog crash. Like, and worst case scenario, when you're trying to learn to skim the whoops, when you miss one, and it's just like, yeah, guess what? You're done.
Like,
well,
confidence gone.
Well, that's what I was saying. That's what I was about to say. Is like, when you have a big crash like that, as a Supercross athlete, dude, doesn't matter who you are, that's going to hinder your confidence a little bit. And same thing with bike problems. Like, are we going to...
Bro, Tom Vial.
What?
10th qualifying.
Bro, he's probably feeling sore today after that crash that I seen.
Yeah. Not good. Not good at all.
Bro, with how heavy the class is in talent.
Bro, Cameron McAdoo qualified 12th.
Yeah.
And still pulled off the podium.
Phenomenal.
Wow. Okay, go on.
With how heavy talented the 250 East Coast is, like, I hope everybody can get their shit together and, like, get on the same page. Because the beginning of the main event, bro, it looked like...
let's talk about the main.
It looked...
No, we can't even talk about the main yet. Go ahead.
What?
Dude, we haven't even talked about the red flag situation and fucking Levi Kitchen's whole debacle.
Well, that's what I was that's why I was talking about the start of the main event and how it looked like everybody needs to get on the STAR program.
Right?
It was 1, 2, 3, 4.
Like, bro, yeah.
What are we doing?
And, dude, I don't know what Levi's doing, but, dude, if you're going to start fucking with Deegan and you want to talk shit and post on your Instagram that you're bringing up old Tampa footage and you posted a video of Danger Boy eating shit at Tampa, you better not fucking pull off the track and have supposedly choke problems. I mean, he had a choke problem. Oh, that's messed up. That's not even funny. That's not a joke. But realistically, he had a problem with his bike. That's what I want to ask you. I heard you and Michael talking about this earlier. So, did you see his results and see his main events
look at all. I'm going to show you something right now. I'm going to read off something. So he started 21st.
Oh, hold up. Can we fucking talk about this too?
What?
This is some confusing ass shit.
Hit me.
Okay, so RJ Hampshire
Yes.
running up front, right?
In
Over
which
jumps the
one?
triple in the main event,
Uh-huh.
running up front. Over jumps the triple, okay?
Yep.
He gets stuck on the tough block, goes a lap down. Goes a lap down, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so they then red flag it, right?
Oh, and then they put him back.
In the back. What the fuck? Bro, he was in 5th, a lap down. Okay?
Yeah.
How do you put a guy that's in 5th, a lap down, back in the back and still keep him a lap down? You got to give this motherfucker his lap back then and put him in last.
I would.
Okay.
That's
I'm
what I
glad
would
that you
hope.
brought this up because this was mass fucking confusion for me and a couple of people on the starting line. Because I remember like looking up on the Jumbo.
That's how that should work.
Finally getting RJ's bike free, and then like, oh, okay, they're with the guys ahead of him. He did just get lapped. Oh God, there's the night over.
Yeah.
And then when the red flag comes about, there was a lot of people in different team shirts that were like, oh, RJ's going to go on a rip now. RJ's going to go on a rip. This is going to be really good because he and Levi both had everybody right in front of them to go have clear track and attack.
Yep.
And I was like looking and then I thought to myself, I'm like, well, RJ's a lap down, right? And then all of that work that he did for nothing. And did he know? Like, I haven't asked anybody at Husky if they told him he was a lap down, but the TV broadcast knew that he was a lap down. And so, yeah, you do have to wonder how they bring that back into consideration. Like, is there like a NASCAR lucky dog free pass where you go to the front now, or how do you keep that? Because
Well,
he
not
just
only
worked his
that.
balls off for nothing that he didn't know about.
Yeah, but okay, so this is the explanation I'm trying to say, is if you're a lap down, right, and you're in 5th, then you go back on the line in 5th. So that way you have a chance to pass back, get on the lead lap, and then lap back up to where you're at. And or if that's not the case, then you go to dead last and you get your lap back.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody else doesn't have the amount of time between each other that was there before. So how is that fair?
Yeah, because
agreed. I completely
actually
agree.
the AMA is actually giving everybody their
seconds back.
their position back,
Yes.
and RJ's getting screwed.
That's what I'm saying. They're getting
second
their
time.
seconds back. Everybody's right next to each other. And now what? RJ's just also in the back and a lap down? No, bare minimum, you got to put RJ back where he was in the running order when he was a lap down. So if he went a lap down and he was in 5th, you put him in 5th, you put him a lap down, and then he has a chance to then go around the track and get back on and maybe pass a couple guys towards the end.
Yeah.
Because at that point, there was no point in RJ even racing anymore.
Yeah, because RJ, I mean, I don't know if AMA could do this, but like, let's just say you're an active rider a lap down. They could be like, oh, RJ, go just putt around a lap, get back on the lead lap, and you're in dead last now.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what should have happened.
That's what should have happened is he put him in dead last. Now you're on the lead lap. You can't, what they did, that was gnarly. I would be pissed.
Yeah.
Especially when you're fighting for championship points at the first round.
Yes.
Gnarly.
So to add on to the Levi Kitchen story.
Yep.
So I'm guessing so lap 7 was the red flag lap because that lap for Levi Kitchen was 10 minutes. So he started in 15th, dropped back to 21st.
What do you mean it was 10 minutes?
Well, because on Levi Kitchen's lap counter, his lap time for lap 7 was 10 minutes long.
Okay.
So obviously,
and then it's a minimum 10-minute reset for the red flag.
Yes. So the red flag was on lap 7. So they started racing from 8 to 16.
Yep.
So he started in 10th and then got up to 9th.
Yep.
That doesn't seem like a guy who has a bike problem.
Yeah. I mean,
If you're
he
still
had the
going
bike
9th,
he had the
place
bike problem.
fastest.
He had the bike problem in the heat. But still, though, like, yeah.
So do you think he was just scared still and still kind of checking it out?
I think, dude, this is my thing. When he pulled off in the heat, he looked down and kind of knew what was going on, which to me sounds like that this might not be the first time that this happened.
Yeah, this has happened before on the test track and be like, hey, it's doing it again.
It's doing it again. So now,
that's how he had the confidence to ride with it.
Yes. Not only had the confidence to ride with it, but also not the confidence to ride
They're not running ETS fuel, are they?
I don't know. I have no idea.
We'll
I don't know if they're running VP. I don't know if
it's
they're running
a VP team for sure.
Or I think it's a VP
I would have
team.
guessed.
But
they've been VP forever, but also everybody has been VP forever.
Yes. But either way, I got told that it was something with the choke or the throttle body area. So something was going on. And like Anton talked about, the mechanic was just wrenching on it like crazy. Because there was another red flag in the heat.
Yes.
Levi Kitchen did not look good all night. And you can't tell me you ain't not sick now. It's been way enough time for you not to be sick anymore. Yes or no?
Cameron said it.
Yes or no, team?
Oh, no, I agree. Yeah, no, agreed. Like, he had no indication. Like, you talked to him on Friday, there was no, like, I'm not any lingering side effect, no nothing. Like, he was very confident that he'd gotten over whatever was fucking with him in January. But to go back to Friday then, and exactly on the point that you're on, you know, Cameron used the press conference to say, hey, I am hurt. I have torn my ACL. You guys did hear that. And he was very clear to underline it was a situation out of my control, i.e. a bike problem. But he didn't, like, throw the team under the bus. He didn't throw the bike under the bus, nothing like that. Like, he's a big boy. He understands this stuff happens. And especially so because everybody knows that's a brand new KX250. You know, that's a lot of new stuff that's going on in that. And Mitch has been very open in the past of saying, like, takes a couple years to develop a bike. You know what I mean? And when you have the importance of everything new and trying to push new levels with new equipment, and especially in this day and age, like, I talked to Bruce Sternstrom at Anaheim 1, and he had told me about how if you look back to the problems that Jason and Adam, but particularly Jason, had last year with the KX450 in its first year, was because they're not confident in throwing everything at a bike, trying to run all the power out when they're still developing it. And that's what PC is probably going through right now. So a little gurgle or something like that, although not ideal, is something you would expect of a new bike in the first year. So, like, all you can do is hope that they get it figured out. And from Levi still racing with it and Cameron still racing and being open of, like, yeah, it did kind of fuck me up, but still I got to go race it.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like it's a lot of guys being like, I'm not going to ride that thing. Like, and if there's any team that can work through it, you know it's PC.
Yes.
Oh,
absolutely.
well, come on, dude. Mitch will make that shit.
I mean, to add to that point, though, Seth Hammaker, I mean, if he could keep on doing
Hammaker looked good.
If he can keep on doing what he did last night and just fly underneath this radar, dude, he's going to be in there like swimwear the rest of the season.
Contender for sure.
You know what I'm saying? We all know what that kid can do, but he's got to stay healthy. He's got to put laps underneath his belt and put rounds on his name and be fighting for championships, meaning make every single race.
Yeah. And you know who else was ripping was Daxton Bennick. Dude, the kid was a little overly spicy. He was making some little jerky movements, but dude, the kid looked strong and he looked like he had some fucking speed in the tank. Like, Daxton Bennick looked good. He obviously didn't look Max good. Max just looked so cool, calm, and collected. Whatever, dude. I'm going to glaze up Max every single episode of every single thing. Max is my guy. Dude, did he not look super solid and he looked so fucking pro?
He looked pretty smoked before Pierce Brown wadded up in the whoops.
No, he didn't, bro. He was just making a second push, bro. He was resetting.
Bro, there was a little chink in Max Anstie's armor right there, dude. Pierce was ripping.
Pierce was going to be a force. Pierce was going to be a force. He just got a little too, he got sideways, got a little too forward and tucked front.
I read on his Instagram today that he broke his T6 and had surgery already. So that means T5, T6.
Where is that? Is that neck or is that back?
No, neck C.
Okay.
Neck C. I broke my C4.
T is
C5.
like right in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm guessing he had surgery, so I'm guessing he broke a wing off of one of his vertebrae and then had it screwed back on.
Bro, Anton is fucked up. It's messed up that we can kind of evaluate, like, if you're going to get surgery and you were okay, that this probably happened, and we're probably right, which is the messed up part. Because we've had so many case scenarios of these things happening that it's like, oh, yeah, if this happened, this... Like, I literally called it when I was up in the stands. I said, they're like, oh, what do you think happened? You think he broke his collarbone? I said, what do they got over there? Oh, the stretcher's down. Oh, they're hovering over the top of him. Oh, they're not letting him move. Something's wrong with his back or neck. Period.
Yeah. Period. Red flag. Shut this place down. We got to make sure this guy's off the track, safe, without any extra movement.
Yes. 1,000%. You know? And thank
I'm
God he threw his thumbs up.
Yeah. Because that was a tense couple minutes, you know, and when they don't show the replay or anything like that, you know it's serious. And like it always gets weird when there is a red flag. And to have 2 red flags, especially that one after the heat race, shout out to my guy Carter Stevenson that caused that one. That sucked because it was Carter's anniversary weekend with his old lady. So like that's not the weekend you want at the track to get carted off like that.
No. But
then like just the panic, not the panic, but just the concern that happened for Pierce to go down like that. And everybody is just stopped. Everything's over. I'm on the Cleveland Clinic website right now, and it says your T3 through your T5 nerves are the ones that go in your chest wall, and they control your rib cage, your lungs, and your diaphragm, and the muscles that help you breathe. So although Pierce has no nerve damage, even if you just jostle a little bit of that stuff, I mean, if that's talking about the core part of you, your lungs, your heart, your liver, your small intestines, all of that stuff through your thoracic spine, yeah, it's probably going to be why all the medics have to come over, because you might not be able to breathe the way that you need to breathe, in addition to all the immense pain that you're in. I had said this to both of you boys before we got going.
Yeah.
In the just mass confusion of what happens when someone's red flag and you don't want to show somebody laid out on TV, they cut to the camera that's in the star truck, and then you see Cooper getting ready to go out to roll down to the main event staging area, and he's watching the same footage of his guy that he's been training with at the goat farm for months now get hurt like that. That's a fucked up frame of mind to have to go out and go do the race like that. And,
dude, I was just talking about that with Chase Sexton last week too. He's like, dude, we got these fucking SMX Next guys wadding up about red flagging every weekend, and then I got to go out and race. You know what I mean? It's gnarly, bro. Like when you were down on the ground and they red flagged it, I'm like, well, call it a night, dude. Like, I'm going to be dog shit. Your mindset is not in the right spot at all. You know, especially, you know, like, this is no diss on any of the other guys. But, like, with the SMX Next guys, if they wad up and get kind of messed up, you kind of go like, okay, it's a little understandable because they're not as good at Supercross yet. You know what I mean?
Yes,
like
but on the real side of that, you still, as a rider, doesn't even matter if you can call them a squid whatsoever. You still like, they make it look sketchy. It might look sketchy. And then until you do it and say to yourself, it's not sketchy, you still have that feeling going up to that whoop section or that rhythm section or whatever it is.
But my point is that when you see a guy like Pierce Brown go down in front of you and you know how good he is, you're like, oh shit, track's gotta be gnarly right now.
Yeah. And so it just adds
the worst
to the
spot.
It adds to the aura of this, the whoops. He crashes on the right side. You don't see anybody on the right side the rest of the night.
I know. Literally, like nobody's by the tough plug at all.
No.
Okay. Anything else we got to talk about 250s?
I want to shout out Colin Park because he was ripping. He got 7th.
Okay, hold on. Good job, Colin. He was doing good.
I mean, for a bigger gentleman on
he's
the
not even that big.
Dude,
he's just taller.
I mean, whatever you want to call it, big, tall. He's a bigger gentleman.
Yep.
You know, he was ripping. He was doing really good.
Well, just for
And-
instance, for you guys, Chansheim is 6th. Here, Tom Biao 5th. Chansheim is 6th. Colin Park 7th. Nate Thrasher 8th. Levi Kitchen 9th. That's in some good company, my
That's
friend.
in the mix, my dude.
Yeah, it is.
I'm kind of bummed that he took out Austin Faulkner after the sand section. Colin did, but
Bro,
you're
Dude,
fighting
dude,
for positions.
if you're fighting for position and the dude's got the flu, easy takedown. That's so messed up. I mean, dude, if you're in the fight,
Bro, I'm sorry, but I don't care. Like, if
you know
if-
Faulkner would have done that to him.
Oh, for sure. If I guarantee you, Colin Park read the name on the back of his jersey, he's like, "Oh, he's leaving the door open on me. I'm gonna take this for sure, dog."
Yeah, like no question. Okay, we got to move on.
Hey, one more thing
Yep,
before
hit
we
me.
bounce
Yep.
on this thing. If you didn't see, it looked like Daxon got docked points.
Oh, I did see that.
Max has a much
Yep.
bigger lead than you think. The penalty report hasn't been published yet, so I don't know what it's
He
for. I
did
would
get
assume
docked.
it's probably some red
Yeah.
cross flag stuff.
Yeah. Bummer.
So he kept his position. What they said on the broadcast is Daxon kept the second place. He did jump on
Bro,
the red
that's why
cross
we
flag.
have our freaking SMX insider, Michael Antonovich. Are you kidding me right here? We're keeping us on the fucking
Hey,
game.
keeping us on the thumb on the pulse.
Yes, absolutely. At all
The
times.
big picture. Big
Yes.
picture. Every point matters.
Every point matters. They didn't specify how many points he
I
got
don't think
docked.
Five.
5.
5. Holy shit, that's a lot.
Ouch.
That's a lot, right? Especially this early in the
I
year.
just
'cause,
want to know
that
how
goes-
many points Jeremy Hand got docked, but whatever.
I mean, he got last.
Oh, he did? Fuck. Okay, anyways. Yep, 5 points.
Low blow, bro.
Yeah, it was low. Super low. Dang it. Sorry, Jeremy.
Nobody wants to be there, dude.
No, they don't. It's so true, too.
That's like worst case scenario.
Okay, go. Come on, we got to get going.
But anyways, he keeps his second place. So I'm guessing he keeps his second place bonuses. So that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
But he did jump on the red cross
Dude,
flag
Bobby
twice.
Reagan probably is like, oh, no, bro. You got docked. How many points is that? No, you ain't getting that paycheck. You getting this one.
Yeah. What place are you in the championship?
Yeah.
6? That's what you get.
Facts, bro. Cutthroat. All right. Acerbis, the best plastics in the game. Okay. Big L, big dub. Who gets the big L?
Dude.
I mean, we know who
oh
gets
my
the
God.
big L, right?
Yeah.
Tell me.
And Roczen, dog.
No.
Yes.
That's the big L?
The biggest L ever. Because if he would have made it.
No.
If he would have made it through those two guys, he would have had the red plate.
Yeah, but I think the big L for the weekend.
This is not your segment, my dog.
Oh, okay, go. Okay. Hit it.
Big L goes to Ken Roczen because I believe he would have had the red plate going into Detroit and would have been back on the Suzuki going into the next round of Monster Energy Supercross, and it would have just lit another fire under Ken Roczen's ass. So that's why I give the big L, but big dub, it's got to be Malcolm Stewart getting his first win of his career and just putting the perfect night together for him and doing it in his hometown. You couldn't ask for a better human being and a better place, and there's the perfect recipe to get his first win.
Love it.
Phenomenal.
Love it. Okay, my big L. And again, people, big L is not mean like these guys are losers. It's just the big L of like the losses that have happened. These are the biggest downfalls of the weekend. My big L, Chase Sexton, bro. And this is my reasoning. Because Chase Sexton, and I love Chase, but dude, you can't get that many gifts given to you and still not capitalize. Dude, Eli Tomac goes down. We just got announced that Jet Lawrence has blown out his ACL. Ken Roczen gets taken out by lappers.
He doesn't know that yet.
Yeah, but he knows. He's seen it coming around the track. There's no question.
Yeah, he saw Kenny in
That's
the
what
sand section.
Yes. And somehow, some way, he still can't just go, fuck it. Malcolm Stewart's catching me. I don't care. Let him win. I'll go on to Detroit. We'll figure out what's going on because I know I'm the fastest guy. I just think that maybe there's something off with my bike setup here and I can't get through these whoops. Let's live to see another day, take second place in points, not even worried about Malcolm getting first place points because he's so far back. And let's leave this thing and capitalize. And now we crash, break our front brake off, mess our freaking throttle up, and then we have to baby it in, get passed on the last lap for 5th place.
Ooh.
At what point do we just see Chase finally get that big break where it's like, dude,
bro, what do you mean big break? He won 2 Supercross rounds already, and he still has the points lead. Or no, he doesn't have the points lead.
I mean, dude,
doesn't Cooper Webb
No,
got
he does.
he does still have the points
He
lead.
does have the points
So
lead.
what are we talking about here, dude?
Because, dude, this series is getting handed to Chase Sexton on a silver platter, and what he's doing is allowing Cooper Webb to take it over.
It's getting split into 2 right now.
That's what I'm talking about. Chase Sexton had this thing not locked up, but was so leaning his way after practice.
The momentum was definitely rolling down his side of the hill.
So heavy down Chase Sexton's hill, and somehow
He went off a cliff.
he just jumped off a cliff.
Trust me, he feels that way.
And like, dude, I love Chase. I want to see Chase win so bad. Him and Kenny are the boys. But you can't, at some point, you have to just eat your ego a little bit, even if it is Malcolm Stewart catching you, because you know for a fact he was like, how the fuck is Malcolm Stewart catching me right now? There's no way this dude should be catching me. No way, no way, no way. And he just kept pushing and searching because he knew that he should be the fastest guy. So he was looking around to see where Malcolm was catching him, trying to figure it out.
And
couldn't figure it out.
Crowd.
And heard the crowd and wadded up.
Yeah, just like that.
And all he had to do was just go, shit, dude, tonight there's just something not quite right. Let's just let Malcolm go by and take this second. And I know that's a hard thing to do.
It's very easy to say after the fact, but big W, moving on.
Okay. Big dub, Max Anstie. I mean, dude, the guy, how old is he? Max is 31?
I believe so.
Okay, we're just going to say that. We'll look it up next week. But dude, 31 years old, comes out, he looked good last year on the Star Yamaha, but not like that. Comes out, gets a decent start, wins the first race. Can't ask for a bigger dub than that. What do you think, Anton? What's the take on our takes?
I'm going to agree with you on Chase Sexton for all the reasons that you outlined, and then 2 more on top of it. Like, I agree with Chase, and I agree with you on the Chase thing. Eat your ego, let it die, like, get away from that. And especially if you saw like the yoga zen stuff that he was posting in the morning, like,
that's what
he's definitely working on letting that shit go, not letting everything just fester and just eat away at you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, you just won Glendale last week. Yes, you do have the red plate. You got a 5-point gap on Cooper still. Like, everything is okay. But also, a mistake like that, like, why'd the bike stop working? What went wrong for you to give up the pace that you gave up? Because anybody that saw pit bits from what Michael Lindsay showed, and like I saw it too last week, but Michael has the best breakdown of it, of that air duct pulling air off of the radiator through the fan back to the shock to keep the shock from fading. Like, okay, now you already are questioning what's going on with the bike after you had worked all year last year and this offseason to like make it better and get away from the suspension issues that had plagued you. And now you have a whole new one that maybe last week you had figured out, but now it didn't work this week because halfway through the race, the bike started going away from you. Like, what's the why for that?
Yeah.
That's going to be a big question that he's now got to get over, exactly for what you said. You had the weekend teed up for you. You know what I mean? Like, you were leading, you got the whole shot, you were checking out, big gap, and then you lost time, and then the bike got fucked up, and then you lost even more spots for it. So, like, this is the ultimate test now for Chase of, like, do you let this shit eat at you for a week, or do you get your laps in at the Baker's factory this week on your little program, and you and Tom work it out, and then you come back and you start firing at Detroit? Because this could be the way that you start to lose the momentum, because the guy that gets my big dub is Cooper Webb. because Cooper's just stacking them up. That's 2 podiums in a row now. He was super fast at Glendale, did the big jumps, did everything he needed to do, was pissed off, feisty, ready, Henri to go at Tampa this weekend. Like, East Coast tracks, heart of the season, guys falling apart. Coop's got his problems, but he's pretty solid. Like, they're not chasing the bike setup or anything like that, it seems like right now. So let everybody else have their issues. Coop's going to do what Coop does every single year.
I know. And it's like, at what point, too, do you just go, dude, well, Malcolm's bike has the same shit you got or same shit available. And, you know.
So you want to try that?
Well, no, forget trying that. Chase Sexton is good enough to where it's like, dude, you have to use your skill a little bit to figure out the end of the moto to kind of make that up. Just a little. I mean, it can't be that far off. What we seen at Anaheim, what was the race that Chase Sexton won this year? Anaheim won?
Anaheim.
I mean, dude, he looked sick at Anaheim 1. Like, he looked really good.
Yeah.
I know that Tampa is a different dirt, different track, yada, yada, yada. But, dude, that's where you're from. You should have this pretty dialed. Okay.
Yeah. He's from Illinois, but
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He trains here. Okay.
Trains there.
California Coast Plumbing in the trenches. Who's in it, dude?
Eli Tomac is in the trench. And he's got to figure out how to get out. We don't know if he's going to stay in the trench this week or he's going to pop out. But, I mean, from my assumption, and just my assumption, in my opinion, he's going to be in the trench for 4 to 6 weeks. And until then, we are going to probably see, if he's racing, we're going to probably be seeing 8 to 12 performance.
I mean, we're going to get one of the biggest announcements of Supercross history this week. Realistically, we're either going to get, we're racing and we're going to try to do it and limp it by until it gets good enough to get on.
Honestly, I think if he'll make the call, but I think he's either going to come out, race and be swinging, or he's going to call it and get just 100% for outdoor.
Yeah, but dude, you and I both know you ain't 100% for outdoor if you torn your ACL.
If you're torn your ACL, then he's done.
That's what I'm trying to say. Is like, we could get one of the biggest announcements of Supercross in a long time this week.
If it's from that toe drag, I don't think that's an ACL injury. Dude, I think that could be something else.
You and I both know we've seen weaker stuff happen and blow.
Okay, anyways, Eli's in the trenches right now, so we got to figure out how he's going to get out or how long it's going to take for him to get out. And then my 250 class in the trenches, Levi Kitchen, dog. What are we doing? Your teammate with a torn ACL just smoked you. And then Seth Hammaker, like, it's not the bike, dude.
Nah.
You know, like, yes, I know you probably had some issues in the heat race.
Because, dude, the bottom line is, too, I mean, no offense to McAdoo and Hammaker, but Levi's better than both of them.
You know what I'm saying? So we need to figure that out this week and get headed in the right direction, period.
Yep.
No excuses. It's all on you, my bud.
Okay, do you think this has anything to do with Deegan?
No.
You don't think so?
Nope.
All that talking shit about like how he's going to be the
hell no. I don't think he gives a shit about that.
All right, cool.
He might not even run his own Instagram.
He might not. I doubt it.
I don't think he does.
You don't think he does?
That's what I'm saying, bro. You can't believe everything on the internet, dog.
That's true, because he did say he had no idea who was playing in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I hope that dude's just fishing on a lake somewhere. He's just trying to get his mind right. I hope he's fishing with Malcolm Stewart, trying to get that 450 win sauce on him.
Come on. I love it. All right. Well, last segment of the show. X brand does the zebra keeper stripes.
Bro. Dude,
there's so many, dude.
My dude Mookie is making some new stripes, dude. Some winning stripes. He just got his first winning stripe, and I hope this one stays solid on him and create some more just winning vibes and just a little bit more of like those stripes of being up there and believing 100% that you are that guy.
So what's the old stripes? Let's talk about the old stripes first a little bit.
The old stripes of what he's been battling through the last 4 or 5 years is the 5 to 8 guy in the beginning of the season, and then some people get hurt, and then towards the end, then he's getting on the podium and kind of fighting for those podium spots towards the end of the season.
Also,
those are
just injury after injury.
Those are the Malcolm stripes. Well, and then too, like,
I mean, those are Stewart stripes in general, right? The injury stripes.
Yes and no. I mean, James put some years together.
Yeah, he did.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but he also had years of just nothing too.
Yeah, but that's towards the end of his career.
I mean, that's fair.
When he
fair
was either lose or win.
True.
Yeah, but then like you gotta think he did miss whole Cowie years. Like, I'm coming, I'm here, then up, snap my wrist in practice at Phoenix, missed that whole season.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like James did go through his like what could have been, especially against like Chad, Ricky. Like you only get so many chances to go against them. So it wasn't like fate always lined up. And for Malcolm on this one, like he's definitely seen through the last year. He did all the nationals. Like when was the last time you saw Malcolm do all the nationals and just grunt that shit out and get back to where he was? Like,
it's been a while.
Like what you said, Malcolm's base is fucking set.
Yeah.
No
Yes.
Yes.
The foundation is there to win.
Yes. This year it's solid.
Okay, so the old stripes are, that 5 to 8 guy, also the little bit of injury prone type of thing, right? So we got to get rid of all those old stripes, and we finally put a new stripe on the wall, on the hide.
No, I wouldn't say, no, you can't erase all the old stripes, bro. That's part of who you are. But this is the new Malcolm Stewart. You have learned from all those previous races, all those main events that you were fighting your ass off.
Yeah.
For 5th and 4th. Now it just came all together, and you found a flow, found that extra half a second a lap to put you up with the best in the world, and you beat the best of the world, and you were the fastest man on the planet for that night, and now we just got to do it again.
There you go. We got one new stripe.
Yes, we do.
Now, what's the next one going to be? That's the real question. We're going to find out in Detroit.
Absolutely.
Let's go. Well, we appreciate all you guys listening. Anton, thank you so much for being on the show, dude. Look forward to having you.
Sick.
Yeah, look forward to having you more often and getting us some insider information. And thank you to all the listeners. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, share it with your friends. And I just want to tell you guys too, all you guys that came up to me and have been coming up to me at the races, it's been so cool to hear you guys like track talkers and just saying thanks for doing this. And we love track talkers. Thank you guys so much for shouting us out on the press conferences. Thank you guys for mentioning us and anything. All the reposts have just been fantastic. Thank you guys so much. The more you guys share, it's the more you help us grow. And we just want to try to put out the best content for Supercross possible. So it's all thanks to you guys. And we're going to keep it up, keep growing this thing, and keep making it better. Till next week. Peace.